The hardiness zones are really a part of the gardener's vocabulary. It's a common language by which gardeners, landscapers, and others communicate about where plants are most likely to grow best. And matching a location's hardiness zone and the hardiness zone listed for a particular variety of plant lets people select plants that have the best chance of thriving in their area. Now's the time of year when gardening catalogs are arriving in mailboxes, and I think that the release of this map is actually going to be really make it more helpful to gardeners as they're making their selections for this coming year. The hardiness zone designations represent the average annual coldest temperature at a given location in a specific period of time. They don't reflect the coldest it has ever been at that location or the coldest it ever will be at that location, but they depict the average lowest winter temperature for a given location over a specified time. The low temperature during the winter is a crucial factor in where a particular plant will thrive. Each of the zones in the new map is a 10-degree Fahrenheit band that's been further subdivided into a 5-degree Fahrenheit zones that are labeled A and B. The new map has 13 zones, with zones 12 for 50 to 60 degree Fahrenheit range, and zone 13 at the 60 to 70 degree Fahrenheit range are new. They've been added for the first time to this version of the map. It's striking to me how widely used this map is. First and foremost, there are the 80 million gardeners in the United States who grow, and those who grow and breed plants for them. And this is probably the largest group of users of this map. But there are a lot of other organizations that make use of the map, and I think it's worthwhile pointing out what some of those uses are. Within the Department of Agriculture, there are two agencies that make use, and kind of different ones, and ones you might not think of. The Risk Management Agency uses the Plant Hardiness Zone designations to set some of their crop insurance standards, and the National Resources Conservation Service uses the map as a guide for selecting plants for areas to be revegetated, and the U.S. Army also relies on the map for revegetation selections. State and local governments, in deciding what trees to be planted in municipalities, also rely on the map for selecting which trees are most appropriate.
Okay, the very first thing you'll notice that's different is in response to a lot of requests, we've actually put a zip code finder right on the front of the map. And Mike, if you could type in 20910 here in this box. And if you click on Find, you'll notice we have CAPTCHA on everything. That's to keep the robots from sitting on the website and keeping people from being able to access it. Hang on one second while we validate. Excellent. And you'll notice in the upper left-hand corner, after I've typed in a zip code, that my zone comes up. If, as a gardener, that's all I care about, knowing if my zone has changed, and I don't want to look at what the zone boundaries are around me, this is the quickest and easiest way to view it. The central point of the map the central point to the website is, of course, the interactive map. And that is a point at which you do have to type in a second CAPTCHA. And here again, you can do it by zip code. If you'll type in 20910 and click on Locate, the interactive map will automatically take you has to fill in. And a box will come up that will tell you what your zone is, what the actual average temperature is, not just the 5 degrees of the half zone. Now, one of the things you might notice is that my actual temperature there is 2.1. So I'm actually dead square in the middle of my zone.